5 to 172. And this is his second appearance in the Coca-Cola Classic. He's an insurance broker. So there we have it. Carl Bottomley sparing up the first frame, and Fred Allsopp leaving it open.
Yes, Fred would have just gone, just taken two, just for safety. Knows it's the first frame. Says that's okay, there's plenty of time left yet. I don't really believe he'd be thinking about Carl's game at this stage at all. He's just going to go out there and play his own game. He knows he can play, and he'll just go out to play his own game. You see him here, he's concentrating, lining up. He's not phased at all about opening the first. He'll just go out now and try and put this one away. Try and get something started, get his rhythm together. Kick!
He called it there to kick.
That one there just not finishing for him. He sent the ball out wider. He stayed off the head pin. That's not really such a bad shot for him. You see the ball, he goes out wide, jumps back, and just leaves a soft 7. Comes in at the angle that the ball enters the pocket. It's a bit too acute, kicks the pins wrong.
Takes plenty of time here. Of course, worldwide, there are 100 million bowlers in 96 countries. And in Australia, started in 1960. We had a resurgence in bowling in the mid-70s after it slumped off, and young guys like this are doing the game a great favour.
They are. Fred has a great image for the game and does it proud.
A squeaky clean one as he cleans up, and he closes that frame, the second one for him.
You see here Fred going for the spare. Again, he moves over to the right, bowls it straighter, sends it out. Thank you.
Carl Bottomley is his opponent. He's a student from Bulimba here in Brisbane. He's played in one previous Coke. He's a 4 times Australian representative. In '88, the World Youth Masters, the Queensland Open and the South Coast Open, and the Asian Youth Masters in '89. He called it to come up, and it did. And the result, 10 pins in the pit.
That was a good shot from Carl. Doing practice, he looks great. You'll see here, through the ball, gets the ball right out. There's that pop again on his thumb. Ball dives back into the pocket. He gets 10. It's a great shot here from pin cam. You see exactly how a strike is supposed to be done, with the ball carrying the 9 pin at the back.
During qualifying, Carl averaged 199 with a high game of 226 as compared to his opponent, who was a 218.5 average, so there's not much between them, so this could be a very close contest. Oh dear.
That was extremely wayward from Carl. I'm shocked. He's got a good shot. He always projects the ball to the right, usually doesn't drop it short, but that one just got away with him. Maybe just rushed it a bit. He got up there a bit quick, rushed it, and when you rush it, you tend to get your body there, then you bring your arm through, and of course your shoulders rotate, and it just drops short. He just didn't get the ball down the lane at all. He knew exactly what he did. But let's see, this is going to be a very tricky spare to pick up. Did it beautifully. That was great. Again, for his spares, he throws it much harder, much straighter, which is the best way to spare. If you're going to tell anybody how to pick up spares, it's to go hard and straight at them. Bowls it from the left-hand side, picking up on the left-hand oil on the lane, and picks it up. Says, thank you.
Enjoys one of the refreshments provided here by one of our sponsors, Coca-Cola. Great sponsors of bowling, 10-pin bowling across Australia.
You can't say enough about Coke. They really get behind this game and support it with everything. Lots of dollars going to this.
Fred Allsopp.
That shot there was a bit wayward. He didn't seem to get onto the shot. Let it drift out a little bit too far. Lane 12's probably hooking a little bit more than lane 11. And he just didn't get onto it that just fraction more. It's just when you get to the point of release, the ball is in such a critical position that you've just got to get everything on it. Fred lining up, needs this spare.
Oh, a miss. A rare miss there for Fred Allsopp.
Fred's just such an excellent sparer that I don't believe he's doing this. You'll see here he comes into the shot and then the ball just takes off. He knew it was going to happen though, the moment he let the ball go.
And at the end of the third frame, Fred is under a little bit of pressure. With an open frame, he trails Carl Bottomley by 14 pins. Welcome back to Logan City Lanes for the 1989 Goldpin Coca-Cola Classic here on Nine's Wide World of Sports. This is Fred Allsopp. He's from Macquarie Fields in New South Wales, 31-year-old insurance broker. Under a bit of pressure here, Terry, against young Carl Bottomley from Queensland.
Carl hasn't opened a frame yet, so he's staying clean. Fred's opened 2 frames, so he's just let Carl get in front. Let's see, he just needs to get something going. But again, he's just still trying to just find his rhythm.
Yeah, that's a lot better from Fred. He'll be happier with that.
That was an excellent shot there. That was exactly what he wants to do. As I said, he just keeps his rhythm, which is really important. You'll see here, really none of his shots look any different from the shot before. He just got the ball to roll a bit better, just that little bit on the fingers at the end. You'll see there with that slow-mo. Comes through, he gets the ball out, off his fingers, the ball goes out, rips the lane and trucks into the pocket. That's the shot that he wants.
We saw Fred throw 17 strikes in a row in the seedings, so he is an explosive bowler when he gets going. This is Bottomley. Yeah, his reply to that is a strike. So this contest starting to really hot up.
I think it's going to. Carl just threw that one loose shot on lane 11. You'll see here he gets the ball way out on the lane, way right. Almost 5 boards right of the last shot, right in the pocket. He loves it. You'll see here another great shot. The ball goes straight through, takes out the 8 and 9. That's exactly what you're supposed to do.
Carl Bottomley, of course, only has a high game of 289, I say only, and a high series of 768. That is relatively low compared to Fred's 300 games. That's his high game, 4 of those, in fact. Likes it, down, on his knees, and brings home that strike.
Another great shot, a perfect shot. And you're right, I can't believe the guy hasn't shot 300. He's such a good player. He's very, very good friends with our top seed here today, Andrew Drew. He's had one in the seedings. So I think Carl's going to be right in there trying to throw one real quick to keep up. There's a big competition between the two of them. And at the moment, Drew is in front with 1-300. He wants to throw one.
And, of course, Carl won't be able to do it this game, but if he does during the tournament, bowl that 300, new Holden Nova SLE sedan, compliments of Motorama Holden Springwood here in Queensland. This is Fred Allsopp hanging in this match. And, would have dearly loved to have seen that 10-pin drop.
Yes, he really needed to get that one to go over. He got more fingers to it. The ball just went a little bit longer. He bowled a little bit quicker. Anxious to get the strike. Again, didn't just bowl the shot that time. Put too much on it. You see here on the pin cam, all the pin action. The pins stopping other pins from getting into it. As if those 2 pins there laying, they were just guarding that 10-pin.
Was that more luck or delivery?
It was just bad luck. Really, the pins wish around and they'd usually roll from side to side. So that was bad luck. He was a bit unlucky with that one.
Oh, gee, that turned a lot that time, right in front of the 10-pin.
Well, this is the trouble with the big back ends, and also when you're going for spares, to learn to keep the ball more direct. You'll see Fred here goes out, tries to lift the ball and bowl the ball at it. When you've got massive back ends like we have here today, the ball, as soon as it hits the dry, it just takes off. It just goes in the direction of the revolutions and just goes.
Tuesday, 8:30, something fish is going on down at the wall. An explosive episode of Matlock.
There is no justice for Vietnamese in Barton's Bay.
One less gook around here would be quite an improvement.
If the law will not stop him, I will.
Your knife was found in the water.
I did not kill John Sampson.
The vigilantes want Matlock before he finds out the truth.
You're seeing another man?
Tuesday, 8:30.
You're out of line.
It's not Mississippi, but it's definitely burning. Andy Griffith stars as Matlock on 9.
The 89 Goldpin Coca-Cola Classic. That's young Carl Bottomley from Bulimba in Brisbane. He is steering a finals berth in this year's tournament if he can continue in the fashion that he's going.
Right now, he really only needs to stay clean to win the match.
Yes, and it comes down. Looks up, thanks his lucky stars.
He does. Like I said before, these guys, he's just dropped a little short there. The ball hasn't gone out as far as he wanted to. It goes, takes off. He goes, okay, what am I going to lose? Oh, they fell over. Well, thanks for nothing. He wouldn't have been happy with that one.
I felt sorry for his poor opponent, Fred Allsopp. He's under immense pressure, needs a couple of breaks, and he sat in the chair and just shook his head.
That's what we all do. You really just, but you can't let that worry you. You have to get out there and play your own game and just get on with the job. Oh. You know, there's a classic situation. Fred's done everything right and got 9. Carl did probably everything wrong as far as he's concerned and got a strike. That's the way this game's played. It's a game for everybody, and it's just the way it goes. It's just the luck of the bounce, and it just happens. It'll be interesting here to see. You'll see the ball. In Fred's case, the ball should have hit the 8-pin to take it out, but the ball's driven through too hard because of the big back ends and left it. Let's see. He really needs to just stay clean now, pick this spare up, and get on with the next shot.
And does so. Didn't appear to be too much trouble there for Fred Allsopp. He looks up at the scoreboard and thinks, oh boy, it's Carl Bottomley. A young man, and a couple of young players in this tournament have really set this whole Coca-Cola Classic alight.
Yes, they have. And Carl, looking at him there, looks pretty confident. He's saying to himself, I've got this match, I've got him, I don't want it somebody else.
That's much better from Fred Allsopp. Maybe this is the start of a good run home.
Yes, it always is. If Fred gets up a few strikes, then he can still make Carl think. As we've seen before, this match can turn at any minute. You've only got to throw one loose shot, and under this immense pressure that everyone's playing on out here, they can easily back it up with another one. Let's see what he does with this one. He'll get this one way out.
Cross.
We knew that wasn't good. And again, we hear that pop as the thumb comes out of the ball.
Yes, we did, but, you know, I'd have thought he'd have gone right out in the lane, get it right out on it, and really hit it as hard as he can, but he just hasn't done it. Didn't get it. His backswing looped a little bit there, and he's pulled it through. You see on the pin cam, the ball just hitting the head pin, pushing everything across, and leaves this. This is commonly called a sleeper here. This is difficult.
And that's what happens with the sleeper?
That's what happens with the sleeper. You've got to carry that back pin to make the spare. The ball's got to hit it. You'll see here. Again, Carl never takes a lot of time with spares. Probably a fault in his game. He's a good sparer. He throws a good action to the spare, but he just doesn't take the time. You'll see here the ball hits the foot, just misses that back pin, but that happens time and time again. But now he has to get going. If he throws another bad shot here, he could be in a lot of trouble.
So he's not finishing off the way he'd like to.
No way. Like he's just gone up there to bowl the 3-8 or the 3-9. He's missed it. Now he's left himself with the 3-6-10, another difficult spare. And the way he throws the ball, because he bowls so straight, he's got to make sure that he bowls accurately at the spare. He must take a bit more time over this spare than he has in the past.
No, he rushed straight up and went for it.
Take it.
Yeah. That's what he wanted. Go for it was the message for him. He did just that and came up with a spare in the foundation frame.
Yes, he got the spare. That's just the thing that he needs to keep him there. He says, thanks very much. Carl's very much a physical player. A lot of people probably wouldn't realise the exercise value in the in 10-pin bowling. But I was recently informed today that bowling a 16-game tournament, you lose 4 pounds in weight.
If I could bowl a few on the trot, it'd be good for me.
But let's see what Fred can do. Fred's got a...
He doesn't need to lose any. He's like a greyhound, Fred Allsopp.
He is, isn't he?
Obviously, it does a lot of bowling.
He does. Fred actually bowls quite a lot. But let's see if he can get one here. He needs a double.
Hit!
Yes. He wanted that. He's going to make him push it all the way to the wire. For the 1989 Goldpin Coca-Cola Classic, a second-round match. This man's in front by 32 pins, Carl Bottomley. Waits for his opponent to finish off. It's Fred Allsopp. What would be going through his mind then?
Well, Carl's got to be sitting here thinking that that 8-1 could have cost him the match. But Fred has to strike out. Fred can strike out for a possible 193. Carl's got plenty of room if he stays clean. But if Fred strikes out, Carl has to stay clean. And that just puts the pressure back onto Carl. And he's not looking good at the moment.
Yes. Could this be the class of the man get him through?
Well, this is it. This all comes back to experience. These young players are great players. They throw great shots, but again, there is no substitute for experience. Fred is a good, experienced player.
Nothing like pressure, is there? And this is what it's all about now.
Pressure in any sport. People can talk about it, say they don't feel it, but all great players feel it, and they just learn how to cope with it. And it's something you've got to learn to cope with, because everybody feels it. Jack Nicklaus feels it. Anyone that says he doesn't feel pressure, then just doesn't think he's any good, I don't believe.
Well, here's the man that's under a bit now. He can't do anything about it at the moment. He has to wait and see what his opponent, Fred Allsopp, does. Taking plenty of time on lane 11.
Fred will take plenty of time on this shot, because this is the crucial shot. This is the one he wants. He's got the lead-up shot into the 10th. He just wants this one. If he gets this one, he makes Carl stay clean.
Oh, yes, gave that every opportunity. Boy, this is coming right down to the wire.
This now has turned into an excellent match. You'll see here, Fred knows that if he pulls it to the right, he's dead. He knows that if he lets it left, gets it go left, it's got all the chance in the world. He got that ball right on the lane, which he hadn't done in the past. Plenty of fingers on it, gets the ball to come back. It's great pin action. He loves it.
Finishes up with one more strike. It's a 193. A fantastic finish. You can hear him just talking there. Come on, he wants a good shot. He's talking to himself. Obviously experience coming through here.
This is it. This is, as Dana was saying, what you've got to think about now is just making a good shot. You run through it in your mind. You picture it in your mind. Carl there worrying what's going on. Fred talking to himself there, just telling himself to come on, just throw one good shot. He wants one good shot.
No, well, he would have liked to finish with another strike. Takes the 8, though, and 191 finish for Fred Allsopp. Now it's all up to Carl Bottomley here. What's the scenario?
Well, it still makes Carl stay clean. Carl still has to spare to win the match. He's bowling. He has to stay. It's just imperative now. He's gone 8-1-7 spare. He's got to stay clean.
We've got the scorecard in front of us. You've seen what sort of pressure he's under. 20 years, second Coca appearance. Can he do it?
I think he can. I think he'll throw it well.
Set! Yes, that's it. You can hear the reaction there, and he likes it. That's what I call countering pressure.
That was excellent. Carl just needed that shot. He wanted to get everything he could give it. And as I said, I thought that the only way he was going to do it was to hit it hard. You can see him there roaring at it, and that was the one he wanted.
Great reaction there. We watched pin cam as the pins head for the pit.
It really didn't matter. Even if he left a single pin, he would have been good enough to spare that. So even if that 9 had stood up, would have been okay. Well, that's a classic example. Knows he's won the match. Says, thanks very much. I'm over this. Let's go home. Let's get the heck out of here.
Experiment for your next round?
No, that wouldn't have been. That was purely just, it's over. I don't need the strike now. All I've got to do is get 9 out of the next 2 balls. That was enough. He's got his 9. He doesn't care now. He should just pick this up, take off straight away, and say, thanks very much.
And takes out the pin. Gives him victory. 195 to 191. A fantastic round 2 match here between Carl Bottomley and Fred Allsopp. Carl Bottomley into the final series. Fred Allsopp, unfortunately, bows out for $19.89 and picks up $300 with the compliments of Coca-Cola and Goldpin.